Hey guys, we are doing another video today. I am doing my second episode on my new reading series. And if you watched my first one, because I don't think if you guys watch this like a year or like a month after I do this video, maybe you're gonna see it because I just published it like a minute ago. I just pressed the publish button. And if you wanna watch it, then you can, cause I said that if I'm reading a chapter book, like I'm gonna read 2 books each time, and if I'm reading a chapter book, I'm gonna read 1 chapter of each book. And in that video, I said I would only read a chapter of this, but I just found like one of my favorite books, so I'm gonna read that whole book too, and I read it really fast. So we're reading Rainbow Magic in this, and I'm reading a chapter of each book. This one's Sky the Blue Fairy, and Gemma, I think it says Gemma because I can't really see because this thing is blocking it. Gemma, Gymnastics Fairy. So first we're going to read the chapter of Sky the Blue Fairy. Does it tell you when a chapter ends? Yes, it does. And then if there's a picture on the page, I'll show you guys the picture. There's only 1, 2, 3. There's only 6 chapters in this book. Okay. First chapter, A Magic Messenger. The water's really warm, Rachel, Walker said, laughing. She was sitting on a rock, dipping her toes in one of Rainspell Island's deep blue tide pools. Her friend Kirsty Tate was looking for shells on the rocks nearby. Be careful not to slip, Kirsty called. Wait, let me put it up closer. Called Miss Tate. She was sitting farther down the beach with Rachel's mom. Okay, Mom, Chrissy yelled back. She looked down at her bare feet, and a patch of green seaweed beneath them began to move. There was something blue and shiny tangled up in the seaweed. Rachel, come over here, she shouted. Rachel hopped across the rocks. What is it? She asked. Kirsty pointed to the seaweed. There's something blue under there, she said. I wonder if it could be Sky the Blue Fairy, Rachel said eagerly. A few days before, Rachel and Kirsty had discovered a magical secret. The wicked Jack Frost had banished the 7 rainbow fairies from fairyland with the magic spell. Now the fairies were hidden all over Rainspell Island. Until they were all found, there would be no color in fairyland. Rachel and Kirsty had promised the fairy king and queen that they would help find the fairies. The seaweed twitched. Rachel felt her heart beat faster. His claws. Wait. Oh, I skipped a page. Wait, did I? Maybe the fairy is all tangled up, she whispered, like Fern was when she tangled in the ivy on the tower. Fern was the green rainbow fairy. Rachel and Kirsty had already found Fern and her sisters, Ruby, Amber, and Sunny. Suddenly, a crab crawled out from under the seaweed at Kirsty's feet. The crab was bright blue and very shiny. Tiny rainbows sparkled across its shell. It didn't look anything like the other crabs on the beach. Kirsty and Rachel smiled at each other. Must be one of the Rainspell Island's special magic. Oh no, fairy in trouble, the crab muttered in a tiny voice. It sounded scratchy, like 2 pebbles rubbing together. Did you hear that, Rachel gasped? The crab stopped and peered up at the girls with his little stalk eyes. Then he stood up on his back legs. What's he doing? Kirsty asked in surprise. The crab pointed one claw toward some rocks farther along the beach, under the cliffs. He rushed forward a few steps and came back and looked up at Rachel and Kirsty. again. Over there, he said. I think he wants us to follow him. Rachel said, yes, yes, said the little crab, clicking. So the little crab, clicking his claws. He set off sideways across a, wait, let me check something. Okay, like 6 more pages. Clicking his claws, he set off sideways across a large flat rock. Christy turned to Rachel. Maybe he knows where Sky is. I hope so, Rachel replied, her eyes shining. The crab moved off the rocks and headed across the stretch of sand. Rachel and Christy followed him. It was a hot, sunny day. Seagulls flew over the beach on strong white wings. White wings. Rachel, Christy, it's almost lunchtime, called Miss Walker. We're going back to Dolphin Cottage. Christy looked at Rachel in dismay. But we have to stay here to look for the blue fairy, she whispered. The little crab jumped down, kicking up tiny puffs of sand. Follow me, he said. The girls couldn't leave him now. Rachel thought quickly. Mom, she called back, we'll have a picnic here instead, please. Miss Walker smiled. Why not? It's a beautiful day, and we should make the most of the last 3 days of our vacation. I'll head back to the cottage with Christy's mom. I'll make some sandwiches. You girls stay out of the water until we get back, okay? Only 3 days, thought Christy, and 3 more rainbow fairies to find? Sky, Inky, and Heather. The 2 girls waved as their moms headed off toward the cottages. Christy turned to Rachel. We better hurry. They'll be back soon. The crabs set off again, this time over a little big slippery rock. Rachel and Christy climbed carefully after him. Rachel, wait. I never showed you this picture. Rachel, Christy, it's almost lunchtime, called Miss Walker. We're going back to wait, I already read this one. Whoops, I'm on the wrong page. Climbed carefully after him. Rachel saw him stop next to a small tide pool. There were lots of pretty pink shells in it. It is fairy, and it is the fairy in one of the tide pools, she asked. Is it this one? Crab looked in the pool. He scratched the top of his head with one claw, looking puzzled. Then he hurried away. I guess not, Christy said. What about here? Rachel said, stopping by another pool. This one had tiny silver fish swimming in it, but the crab shook his claw at them and kept going. Not this one either, said Christy. Suddenly Rachel spotted a large tide pool. It was all by itself, right at the front, off the cliff. Let's try that one, she said, pointing. Christy ran over. The sky was reflected in the surface of the pool like a shiny blue mirror. Rachel caught up with her friend. She leaned over and looked up into the water. The crab scuttled up behind them. His stalk eyes wiggling like crazy. When he dipped his claw into the pool, the water fizzed like ginger ale. Fairy, cried the little crab, lifting his claw out of the water. Blue sparkles dripped off and landed in the pool with a sizzle. The entire pool was shimmering with magic. Okay, so this will be continued. This and the other book when we read another chapter. When we read the first chapter of the other book, I need a bookmark. Oh no, I already threw those little peekers away. There, got it. Let's put that up there. Now we're reading Gemma's Gymnastics Fairy. Gemma the Gymnastics Fairy. And this one is Rachel's house. So it says Rachel's house, riding stables, tipped on town. Where does it say? Rachel's cousin's house, tennis club courts, umpire's chair, skating track, oval park. Okay. So 1 to 11, we're going to read 11 pages. Okay. This one has also 6, but the chapters are shorter. Someone in school. Almost there, Rachel Walker said as she and her best friend Christy Tate walked along a sunny street. Aunt Joanne lives across the corner near my school. That's good, Christy said, glancing down at the basket they were carrying. These chocolate Easter eggs might melt if we had. These chocolate Easter eggs might melt if we had to go any farther. Christy was staying with Rachel's family for spring vacation, and the two girls were delivering Easter presents to Rachel's cousins. I can't believe it's Friday already, Rachel said. The Fairyland Olympics start today. Christy nodded. And we still haven't found Gemma, the gymnastics fairy. Magic hoop. Gemma, the gymnastics fairy's magic hoop, she said. If we don't get it back from the goblins soon, then all the gymnastics events at the Olympics will be ruined, and it'll be horrible. The girls were having a very exciting week, helping the sports fairies find their missing magic objects. The magic objects ensured that sports were fun and safe for everyone in the human world, as well as in fairyland. But the magic objects worked only when they were with their rightful owners, the sports fairies. Jack Frost knew the magic objects were so powerful that they made anyone who was holding them, and even someone who was simply close to them, very talented at that particular sport. He had sent his goblins to steal the sports objects so that they could use them to cheat in the Olympic Games. Jack Frost wanted his goblins to be the winning team. He knew that the winners would receive a golden cup full of luck as the grand prize, and he really wanted it for himself. The goblins have taken the magic objects into the human world to use while they practice their sports, because the magic objects weren't where they were supposed to be. Sports in fairyland and the human world had been going horribly. There had been all kinds of confusion and clumsiness. The girls passed Tippington School, and Christy suddenly stopped. That's strange, she said, staring across the playground. I just saw some kids inside the school dressed in green. School's closed for vacation, Rachel told her, and our uniforms are blue and gray, not green. The same thought came to both girls at the same time, and they let out a gasp. Goblins, cried Rachel. If they are goblins, they might have Gemma's magic hoop with them. Christy said excitedly. They gazed at the school, but there was no sign of anyone in there now. Let's quickly drop off these Easter eggs, then look around a little more, Rachel suggested. She and Christy rushed to Rachel's aunt's house. They knocked on the door, but there was no answer. They set the basket down on the porch out of the sun. They hurried back to the school, but the main doors were locked. Let's try around the back, Rachel said, leading the way. Then she and Chrissy froze as they heard the sound of someone whistling. They peeked through the wall, around the wall to see a man with his back to them, painting some bookcases. It's our janitor, Rachel whispered. Look, he left the door open. Let's sneak in. Hearts pounding, the girls tiptoed in through the open door. It's very quiet, Christy commented. Maybe I imagined it. Well, let's check out the gym while we're here, Rachel said. Follow me, Rachel led Chrissy down the long hallway until they reached a door This is where the gym equipment is stored, she said. We can go through here into the gym itself. That she opened the door and a volleyball rolled out. I'll go like this. Okay. Rachel picked it up and went inside. What a mess, she said. She with a surprise. It's not usually like this. Chrissy followed. A pile of gym mats had been knocked over. There were balls scattered everywhere, and some goal posts lay on the floor. Her heart thumped with excitement. People inside the school, a mess in the gym closet. Something strange was definitely going on. The girls approached the door, opened it, and peeked out. Chrissy held back at the gas. She couldn't believe her eyes. The gymnasium was a blur of green. There were goblins everywhere. Okay, so now, was that it? So now that we've done that, we get another bookmark. Okay, got one. Okay. So, hope you guys subscribe, and that was all the books for right now on the second episode of my new series. So, bye guys, see you in the next video. Just remember to subscribe and like the video. So, bye.